Hello again, lovely people. I'm back. It's Alethea Thomas. Hello. Welcome back to my channel, as always. If you like books, bookish content, you are in the right place. Today we are talking about my TBR for the month of June. We're already many days in June, so I'm a little bit behind again on, getting this out. But I'm making the effort. We're getting it out. Doing it. Okay. And maybe a little life update really quick. I was talking about that laptop I had just purchased. And I think the power supply died on it. It wouldn't respond. I took it to a place to see if they could figure out what was wrong with it. Still didn't respond. And so I'm just like, all right, great. Well, I've got to return it to Amazon now, so that's what I'm gonna do on that. And it's very upsetting because I loved that thing. It was so cool. I didn't like Windows 11 though. I'll be honest, I'm more of a Windows 10 kind of gal. So I'm on the hunt for a new laptop. Same type of specifications, but that's what I need. But anyway, let's get to the books, what I am going to read for June. At least my plans anyway. I am this close to finishing War and Peace, so that's number one on the docket. So I will mention that really quickly. I'm at the very end of War and Peace, and I have plans to make a full vlog about War and Peace. I think it's going to end up being like 4 vlogs maybe, and just to talk about War and Peace because it's an incredible novel. It's really long. Oh my goodness, it's really long. This thing has taken me like 4 months. I started in February, the end of February, so March, April, May. Yeah, nearly 4 months, I want to say, to complete this particular book. So it's crazy. I do suggest you pick it up and read it if it interests you at all, if Russian history interests you at all, if the Napoleonic period interests you at all. Read War and Peace because it's really cool. I'm actually interested in trying to find more literature in the Napoleonic era, maybe something set in France, maybe something set from, Josephine's point of view. I know of at least one book, but I don't remember the title, and I think I read it already years ago. But I know there's got to be other literature out there that kind of focuses around that period. I especially loved Josephine's style. She brought in basically the Regency empire waisted gown era, and I love those dresses. So anyway, yes. So War and Peace. Read it. It's really cool. It's really great. I'm going to probably read other Russian authors just because I enjoyed War and Peace so much. I had already read Anna Karenina. It was set in a later time period, of course, but Tolstoy is just an incredible man, incredible author, and just uses language so well. The translators, of course, have a lot to do with that as well, but it's very readable. It's very consumable. It's good. It's good stuff from Tolstoy. So then the next thing I actually will be reading in the month of June, I've got quite a few here. So the first one I'm going to try and finish up is Perfume, the Story of a Murder. This is by Patrick Suskind, and it seems like a really cool concept. I don't really know much about it at all. It's in the slums of 18th century Paris. A baby is born and abandoned and passed over by monks to a charity case. The monks can find no one to care for the child. He's too demanding. He doesn't smell the way a baby should smell. In fact, he has no scent at all. Jean-Baptiste Grenoble, Grenouille, I don't know, clings to life with an iron will, growing into a dark and sinister young man. Although he has no scent of his own, possesses an incomparable sense of smell. Never having known human kindness, Grenouille lives only to decipher the odors around him, the complex swirl of smells, ashes and leather, rancid cheese, and fresh-baked bread. That is Paris. He apprentices himself to a perfumer and quickly masters the ancient art of mixing flowers, herbs, and oils. Then the day he catches a faint whiff of something so exquisite he's determined to capture it. Obsessed, Grenoir follows the scent until he locates its source, a beautiful young virgin on the brink of womanhood. As his demented quest to create the ultimate perfume leads him to murder, we are caught in a rising storm of terror until his final triumph explodes in all of its horrifying consequences. Told with dazzling narrative brilliance, Perfume is a hauntingly powerful tale of unnatural passion and sensual depravity. So I'm hoping that this one's really good. I like the cover. It draws me in. It's really cool. So anyway, Perfume is probably the next book I'm going to be picking up. I'm also listening currently to The Cruel Prince. I'll put that here because I don't have a physical copy. I'm listening to it on Libby currently. And it's been pretty good so far. It's fantasy. I think it's a Sealy Court. It's elves. Elves are in this world. Pixies, trolls, all kinds of magical characters are in this world. Magical creatures, monsters are in this world. And two girls and their sister, who happens to be half elf, are basically taken in by the father of the half elven girl. He, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but at the beginning of the book something happens and he ends up taking care of all three of these girls and taking them to Fairy, and they grow up in Fairy. One of them really doesn't like being in Fairy and keeps trying to go back to the human world as often as possible. And it's set, more like a current time period. So the human world is in the current time period, and of course the Fairy world is in kind of a not technological sort of place. They're I'd say they're more, maybe not medieval, but maybe a step past medieval in the way that they function. Interesting concept. I wasn't really sure of it at first when I started listening to it. I was just like, oh no, I don't want a fae novel that's set in the real world. I've already heard, that's set in modern times. I've already heard ones like this before, and my opinion of those wasn't very high. I personally really love the ones that are set in more of a medieval sort of, technology state. If, that sort of an environment. I just prefer that sort of thing personally, because it's a total fantasy then. It's not realistic whatsoever, and I can completely lose myself into that sort of thing. But this one's not. But it's moving, it's progressing, it's getting more interesting, so I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. And hopefully it will surpass my expectations at this point. We'll see if it does. The Cruel Prince is part of a whole series, and I think that's Holly Black, right? She's written several other books in this series, so I'm interested in seeing if I like this first book, and if I like this first book, then I'll continue on with the rest of them, and just check it out, because I think I'm really interested in trying it out. So that's why I picked that one up. Then let's see here, what else have we got here? I picked up a copy of The Secret Garden off of eBay because it was really cheap. Like it was a couple of dollars or something. And I was like, oh, you know what? I'd really like to read The Secret Garden again. It's been forever and a day since I read it. And so I decided to pick it up. And I'm looking forward to reading it again. It's not going to be like the first one on my priority list. Perfume is the first one on my priority list as far as physical reading goes. But if I have time this month, I'm going to read The Secret Garden. It's pretty short, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's really short. And I remember that I really enjoyed it as a child, so I'm hoping that I will enjoy it as an adult as well. See, another one I have in physical form is Sally Rooney's Normal People. And I have seen this come up on multiple lists of book talkers and booktubers and bookstagrammers, and thought to myself, well, maybe, I haven't gone too wrong yet on the social media recommended reading. So hopefully this one's really good. I've been feeling like I wanted another, more modern text to read. Rebecca was pretty good. Brideshead Revisited was really good, but I thought I wanted something, a romance, maybe along the lines of like Happy Place, or something a bit more modern, and maybe not as comforting maybe as like Happy Place or Book Lovers would have been. So I wanted to try this out. It's won some awards. The 2018 Costa Novel Award, best novel published this year by the Times when it came out, and it's gotten a lot of praise. So I hope it's a stunner. I hope it shines through, and I hope it just leaves me, knocks my socks off. I think I use that term a lot, knock my socks off. So those are all the things I have in physical form right now. Oh, actually, I have Where Angels Fear to Tread in physical. Let me go grab that sucker really quick. Okay, I'm back in. Me flopping into my chair here. So Angels Fear, So I'm back. Where Angels Fear to Tread by E.M. Forster. Another really short book. And I'm looking forward to this. The last E.M. Forster, I read A Room of One's Own. A Room with a View. Too many room books. A Room with a View was the last E.M. Forster I read, and would, really like to read another one of his. So here it is. Where Angels Fear to Tread. I don't really know much about Where Angels Fear to Tread. Let's see here. An English widow, Lilia, takes a holiday to Italy. Ooh, that's right. This takes place in Italy. She causes a scandal by marrying Gino, a dashing and highly unsuitable Italian 12 years her junior. Her prim, snobbish in-laws make no attempts to hide their disapproval, and when Lilia's decision eventually brings disaster, her English relatives embark on an expedition to face the uncouth foreigner. But when they are confronted by the beauty of Italy and the charm and vitality of the disreputable Gino, they are forced to examine their own narrow lives. Their reactions are emotional, violent, and unexpected. Well, maybe this will be really interesting then. I hope. And I hope it flies, quickly. Because I'm at a point where I need to really pick up the pace on my reading, because we're in June now, and I've only read 40 something books now. Let me check my challenge. Oh gosh, my challenge is even worse than I thought. So I've only read about 30 books out of, I should be nearing 50 at this point, and my challenge for the year was 100 books. So I really got to pick up the pace. And one of the problems is that I'm going to have to read books that are a little shorter. But I'm hoping the books that I pick that are shorter are going to be of really good quality. So maybe just high quality and small amounts and less quantity, less quantity of pages, something like that. So let's see. And then the other one I wanted to read, Edith Wharton's written several short stories, and this one's really short. It's called Roman Fever. And I think what I was going for here is that if I'm reading this and it's in Italy, then Roman Fever, I believe, is also takes place in Italy. Let me look up a really short synopsis on that. And here is the description. While visiting Rome with their daughters, two middle-aged women reminisce about their romantic rivalry for the dashing Delphine Slade. Although Miss Slade admits to falsifying the letter that led her to her eventual marriage to Mr. Slade, Miss Ansley holds her own secret regarding the gentleman. Ooh, so there's some kind of a triangle going on, and these ladies are middle-aged and discussing what had happened, reminiscing on it. I wonder if some kind of high emotional break happens. That'll be really, really fun. So that is my TBR for the month of June. I hope that your TBRs are just as interesting, packed with all kinds of books that you really want to get to and read. I'm really looking forward to mine. So if you have any comments, feel free, comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And let's play a fun little game. I haven't done this before. If you have made it this far into this video, why don't you leave me a sunny summer, a sun. Let's do a sun emoji. And that would be really, really outstanding if somebody left some sun emojis for me. Anyway, I hope that you all enjoy your June. Thank you so much. Bye.